How's it going, folks? Tactard Ted. This is the midterm bonus round. Yes, it's midterm elections today. But what I want to talk to you about is how Ukraine has set the political world on its ear. Because the left in the United States is not in sync with the left in Europe. Because the Antifa types in the United States are actually backing the fascists in Ukraine. And the leftist in Europe, and particularly the leftist in the former Soviet republics, are backing Russia. So it's really interesting to see where the left here is totally disintegrating. They can't even make up their mind what side they want to be on. And I admit I listen to certain groups out there just to see what they say, but it's interesting. American Antifa types all seem to be all in for Zelensky. They all seem to be all in for Azov. They seem to be all in for all that insanity and neo-fascism that the Ukrainians bring to the table, especially Azov, Right Sector, Tornado, ADAR, all these other units that we really don't like to talk about here in the United States because, well, they're kind of icky and it's kind of uncomfortable to talk about it. But all the left-wingers in the United States seem to be 100% in for these guys. And interestingly enough, the left in the former Soviet space seem to be asking Putin, why the hell didn't you do this earlier? It's really interesting that, we talk about, not a big fan of communism, as everybody knows, but we used to talk about, that was the slogan, workers of the world unite. They wanted all the proletariat under one banner. Well, apparently, the proletariat can't agree on what is socialism, communism, and what is National Socialism or fascism. They seem to have a real hard time defining those positions and putting their support on one side or the other because they seem to be fractured. And I think this goes a lot to show the differences in the socialist groups. Let's just talk about it from an uncomfortable moral position, shall we? The Nazis, the original Nazis, were not quite as uptight as a lot of folks would think. Some of the leadership of the Nazi Party led alternate lifestyles. And of course, today, Antifa folks are pushing the transgender agenda, shall we say. I mean, I know transgender folks that would just as soon not have all this brought out and thumped on. But yet the Ukrainians seem to be all about spreading the transgenderisms, and they're all about having that put in people's face. And the Antifa types are a lot like that. So they will side with neo-Nazis and a government in Ukraine that allows that, but they won't side with socialists in the former Soviet spaces who believe in family. That believe in family is the bedrock of any society. You want to talk about where the concepts of socialism and communism come from. It comes from a family idea. That if one member of the family has a little more than the others, then he will help out his brother who doesn't have as much. The family is the basic component of that idea system. Just same as a village. And it all goes haywire once you get to a national or regional point of view where people can take advantage of it. Why does this attitude work in a family? Because families are built on love. Families are built on the idea of the kinsmanship. And we used to have this even with religion. I know the commies aren't big on religion, but even within religions, that's why you tithe. That's why you take up collections, and that collection plate is to go help the church, help bring people to Jesus, supposedly, and help care for those less fortunate. And it's amazing to me that the Antifa want to throw the family overboard and go for this whole alternate lifestyle thing is what they're pushing. Now, I'm not coming out and condemning transgenderism. I'm not coming out and condemning homosexuality. What people do in their own families, their own homes, as long as they're not breaking laws, I don't care. And even if they are breaking laws, that's a matter of public record. I don't have to be nosy into what everybody else is doing. And that's really where we get with all this. But once again, it becomes amazing to me that on a couple of social issues that you will have these great anti-fascists supporting a government that's propped up by fascists. And I think that really goes to show something a lot of folks, and I've said it for a long time, Antifa hates fascists so much that they became the thing they hate. Seriously. They may hate neo-Nazis, but they're more neo-Nazis than a lot of neo-Nazis. And nobody wants to grasp that. Or at least definitely not with Antifa. Now, do I want to sit down and have dinner with Antifa? No, I don't. Do I want to sit down and have dinner with neo-Nazis? No, I don't. Once again, everybody has a right to voice their point. And an Antifa guy has the right to speak his mind. A neo-Nazi has a right to speak his mind. A Democrat has a right to speak her mind. A Republican has a right to speak his mind. I also, as an adult human being, have a right to just not listen. I don't have to listen. I don't have to subscribe to ideologies or ideas that I personally don't want any part of. I don't have to listen. I don't have to subscribe. I can abstain. This is a lot about freedom of speech that people don't want to understand. You don't like a talk show? You don't like the old Rush Limbaugh show, you know, when Rush Limbaugh was alive. You don't like Sean Hannity. You don't like any of these right-wing commentators. Well, you don't have to listen. You can simply change the channel. You can simply find a station that puts forth information that you're comfortable with. I mean, if you're that closed-minded that you can't handle an opposing point of view, then you're fine to just shut it all out. And I know folks who have an opposing point of view watch me. I absolutely know. And they make little offhand comments, and they don't bother me. Because guess what, folks? I really don't care. Because I have to value their opinion. And I don't. I don't value their opinion. And, you know, there's just no reason to worry about these sort of things. So anyhow, folks, that's what I've got for today. Just another quick brief up on things that I think are kind of bizarre. So anyhow, folks, y'all take care. Bye.